I recently posted another video called the Senegal Swirl soap. I'll put a link to that down below. And in that, I discussed at the beginning kind of the history of my work in Senegal teaching soap making. And in that introduction there, I mentioned that last year, during the COVID pandemic, we had done a remote training where I stayed in Florida and through Zoom and YouTube videos, worked with a local volunteer in Senegal who actually went to the village and did the training. Well, that lady, the volunteer, was Madame Ba. And so this past month, when I was in Senegal in person again, we went to visit her. I had never met her in person before, and thought we were just getting together to meet and chat with her, but she had actually planned a full soap making session with her group that she makes soap with. And so we attended that. And so I'll show some pictures of that. And then my procedure today for this video is to try to make a soap using her method. So this is Madame Ba, and this is I believe it's a government-owned facility where they have various projects for women's groups and other groups there. And so she was about to do a demonstration to a group that she works with. Here she's mixing her lye water and blending up the soap. And there she's poured her base batter. And then adding her colorants. And then she swirled it using semicircular swirls from each of the four corners. And there is the finished soap. Some of her ladies there. I thought it turned out quite beautifully. Those are natural colorants. The yellow is turmeric. I'm not sure what the red is. Might be red palm oil. I'm not sure of that. And I'm not sure what the brownish color is either. So to try to emulate her system, not her colors, I'm making a 68-ounce batch. And my recipe is castor oil, coconut oil, sunflower, high oleic sunflower, and beef tallow. So that should make a fairly hard soap, not too fast moving, but also not particularly slow with that much tallow. And then I'm adding some sugar and sodium lactate as I normally do. For fragrance, I'm using lavandin essential oil. And then for colors, the main base batter is just going to be naturally white. And then I'm going to use a stripe of ultramarine blue and a stripe of cyber grape mica, which is kind of a pinkish purple, both kind of going along with the lavender scent. My oils are at 101 Fahrenheit. My lye water is at 122. The oils already have the lavandin essential oil in them. The lye water already has sugar and sodium lactate added. And then my two colorants, I have moistened with a little bit of water. That water is part of the recipe amount. One thing I like about using this mixture of oils is that the uncolored part of the soap should turn out quite white. good enough emulsion to distribute it now. So I'm using about 1.5 cups of batter in each of the colors. I'm going to move the camera so you can see the mold better. I will continue whisking these until they're almost at a light trace. This batter is still pretty thin, but I think it'll work fine. It's definitely picked up some viscosity, but it's not quite to trace yet. So what the lady did was pour this, as I would to start a Taiwan swirl, kind of a serpentine stripe, deep and then shallow. But then she kind of made random stripes over the top. And I can tell this is thin enough. I'm going to need to wait a few more minutes before I do the top layer. I'm going to try this again. It has been several more minutes. I think the trick here is to get the spout of the pitcher close enough. Doesn't sink in the whole way. So that much I would have done for a regular Taiwan swirl, but what she did at that point then was just kind of random stripes and spirals over the top. At least it looked random to me. Then she actually used a ballpoint pen, a big pen. I'm going to use the thick handle end of a chopstick. She made semicircles from the corner, and then she repeated that for all 4 corners. There's one corner. Two corners. realizing I've used more color than she did, so I'm going to have a lot more purple and blue and less white. And then the last corner. I think it would have been fine to stop after 2 or 3 corners, but this is the way she did it, so it's the way I'm doing it. So there is the finished pour. As I usually do, I will spray this with alcohol, and I'll put it in a warm oven for a couple hours to make sure it gels, and we'll have a look at it tomorrow. The soap is a little over 24 hours old, and it's plenty hard enough now to cut. So cut it and unmold it, and then we'll have a look at it up close. So there we have 15 bars. I mentioned earlier in the video that I like this recipe because or this group of oils, because it makes such a white soap. That looks like there's titanium dioxide in it, but there's no colorant there at all. It's just the tallow and the sunflower oil don't have any color to them, so they turn really nicely white. So, as I usually do, I will trim these up a little bit, and then we'll have a look at them up close. I have shaved a little bit of the top surface off of these. I like that look, although I'm not sure it's sufficiently unique from other swirls to make it something that I'll do on a frequent basis, but I like it. These are cut sides and some cut ends, and then some bottom sides that have had a little bit shaved off of them. So I think that's quite an attractive soap. I do think I liked hers better in that she had more base and less striping color. So if I do this again, I might use less of the colored batter.